Sometimes when we sell goods to people, they can choose to return them for one reason or another. Some of these could be maybe the goods that we sold to them were expired goods, or maybe the goods that we gave them were not the goods they had ordered, or some other reasons. Now, when you sell goods to your customer and this customer decides to return these goods, this is what we call returns inwards, or call them sales returns. When this happens, sales returns or returns inwards reduce the amount of sales you had made in the business, and we record this in a special journal we call the sales returns day book, or call it the sales returns journal. Now, I'll be using the word sales returns or returns inwards interchangeably. It means the same thing. So right on your screen, what you're seeing is how a sales returns journal looks like. Just like we've been doing before, we shall be posting the details of these transactions in the sales returns journal. After posting these to the sales returns journal, then the double entry gets started. We shall go right to the sales journal, and since these are mostly goods returned from people we had previously sold to on credit, we are going to go right ahead and reduce their accounts in the sales ledger. So it means that we shall be crediting their respective individual accounts, and the corresponding credit entry will be made in the sales returns account that is found in the general ledger, like we shall be seeing. So we'll get straight into the worked example. The transactions below relate to the sales returns or the returns inwards at Carburetor Enterprises. Those are the transactions right on your screen. We are being required to post the transactions above in the sales returns day book, and that is exactly what we shall be doing. So we'll go on right to our first transaction. Our first transaction, it was a customer called Lasuba who decided to return goods to us, goods worth 560,000. So we shall go right ahead and post on that date of 2020, October 2nd, Lasuba returned goods. Now, when they return goods, there is a source document that is associated with sales returns. I'll explain the source document when we are dealing with Lasuba's account in the sales ledger. So we'll continue and we go to the amount. The amount here, the goods that he returned were 560,000 Uganda shillings. So now let's go ahead to the sales ledger, to Lasuba account. Now when we go to the sales ledger, we go to the Lasuba account. Now this is what had happened earlier. This is Lasuba. He's a debtor to the business. He's a debtor to the business because we had sold goods to him on credit. And when we sold goods to him on credit, we went ahead and debited his account because debt has increased. Now, when Lasuba decides to return the goods to the business, that is what we will call returns inwards. When this returns inwards happens, it means that we are supposed to do the reverse of what we had done earlier in his account in the sales ledger. So if earlier when we were issuing a credit sale to Lasuba, we went ahead and debited his account, this time when he returns the goods, it means we are supposed to reduce his account in the sales ledger, so we shall go ahead and credit the Lasuba account in the sales ledger. So we'll go ahead and credit the Lasuba account, debtor Lasuba, with the amount of goods he brought back, which is 560,000. The other item affected is returns inwards, which so happens to be in the returns inwards day book. That is what we mean by RI1, and it took place on that date. So now, after crediting Lasuba's account with that amount, we go ahead and issue what we call a credit note. So we issue this credit note to Lasuba to tell him that, hey, you returned goods to us and now we have gone ahead and credited your account. So in other words, the credit note so happens to be the source document that we use when we are constructing or when we are posting to the sales returns debtbook, or call it the returns inwards debtbook, or call it the sales returns journal, or call it the returns inwards journal. That is how it's going to work out. That is the note number right there. The column for note number, we are simply writing in credit note numbers. So definitely Lasuba's account is in sales ledger page 1. So that's the end of that transaction. Let's go to the next transaction. The next transaction, it is Abitegeka, who is a customer of ours, who decided to return goods to us. So we shall go ahead and say on that date of 10th, Abitegeka went ahead and returned goods. The credit note number is that one, 9.23, and the amount of the transaction is 1,640,000. So we shall go to the sales ledger and go to the Abitegeka account, that is found on page 2, and we shall credit his account with that amount, 1,640,000. The other item affected is the returns inwards, that is returns inwards page 1, and it took place on that date. Again, so this is on page 2, so we shall go back to the returns inwards debtbook, and we shall, say this Abitegeka account is found in the sales ledger on page 2. I hope we've understood where the reasoning behind the credit note. We issue a credit note because we credited these people's accounts. So moving on to the next transaction, on 15th, it was Aisha who returned goods worth 220,000. So we shall go ahead and say that on 15th, Aisha went ahead and returned goods. We issued a credit note of that amount, 9.24, and that is, the amount is 220,000. So we shall go ahead to Aisha's account in the sales ledger. This being a debtor, we go ahead and credit it with 220,000. The other item affected is returns inwards, and this is in returns inwards on page 1, and it happened on that date. So this being on page 3, we shall go back to the returns inwards debtbook and profile it and say this is on page 3, on sales ledger page 3. So finally, our final transaction on 30th, it was Nareba who brought back goods. So we shall go back and do so on 30th. It was Nareba. The credit note number is 9.25, and this is the amount that was brought back is 1,100,000. And definitely we'll go to Nareba's account and do just like we've been doing before. We shall credit his account with 1.1 million. The other item affected is returns inwards, which is found on returns inwards debtbook page 1, and that happened on that date. So after doing that, you realize that first, for starters, all these are debtors to the business. Lasuba, Abitegeka, Aisha, Nareba, all these are debtors to the business. We sold goods to them on credit. However, because of some strange reasons, they decided to return these goods. When we had sold goods to them on credit, we debited their accounts in the sales ledger. However, when they decided to return these goods to us, we went ahead and made the corresponding credit entries in their accounts. When we made those credit entries, we went ahead and issued them a credit note. That credit note simply was noting or notifying to these debtors of ours that, hey, you returned this amount of goods, and so we went ahead and made a corresponding credit entry on your account. So when we went ahead and made that credit note, this becomes the basis or the source document for filling this sales returns debtbook, or call it the sales returns journal. So after crediting these respective accounts in the sales ledger, we are supposed to go ahead and complete the double entry. If we've been crediting these accounts, it means we are going to go ahead and complete the double entry by debiting what we call the sales returns account, or call it the returns inwards account. We find the sales returns account or the returns inwards account in the general ledger. And it is on this general ledger we post the total of these returns inwards and put it on the debit side of the returns inwards account in the general ledger. So we shall go ahead and transfer 3,520,000 to the sales returns account in the general ledger, and we shall go ahead and debit it. The details definitely reflect that these are total returns inwards for the month. and this is found on the returns inwards debtbook and took place on that date. Like this video if you like it. Be sure to subscribe if you've not yet subscribed. Check out other awesome lectures on the channel. My name is Arnold Ranga Kuramia, and this is Kisembo Academy.